No, I'm just gonna
Hello, everybody.
mark down that
Today it
she's
is
taking
me and Shelly, and Donna's going to be helping us. And we had a customer walk in, so Shelly is helping, and she'll be over shortly. But I thought that I would get a head start real quick and just kind of start going over everything. So, I already know one thing I forgot. Well, first of all, thank you to whoever brought this cute little headset. Look how cute. But I forgot to bring the calendar over. But let's go ahead and see if I can remember. We have the By Annie virtual event that's going on right now. So those of you guys who are involved with that probably are, hopefully, anyway, watching Elaine and Kate doing the second half today. And I am going to, so that's why you're seeing me, because Elaine is working on the By Annie boot camp. And so you guys will be seeing her in there.
There you go.
So today, yesterday and today,
Yes,
we have
and I couldn't
the
find
By
it in
Annie
here,
boot
but
camp.
we're just getting ready.
And then
Well, she's
tomorrow,
gone live, and I need to scurry over there to
oh my goodness,
to
see, I
help
don't
her.
even remember
But I
what we
will
have
mark it
tomorrow.
down.
Let's go walk over
Today. Okay.
I
Thanks.
can tell you guys. Go and look at the little calendar here. Thank you, Shelley.
Oh,
Thank
hello,
you.
ladies.
Oh my goodness, there's like nothing going on tomorrow. Well, we better catch our breath now, because July, we're all going to have to make an appointment to go use the restroom. We are very busy in July. We have quite a bit going on. So don't forget that we will be closed on Thursday for the 4th of July, and I hope you guys have a great time. But before then, we are going to have Bernina Club on the 3rd. And once that's done, we're going to have a break for the 4th of July, and then everything's going to kick off. We're going to have a kids sewing club from 1 to 3 on Saturday the 6th. We are going to have Let's Celebrate for OESD. That is going to be in Littleton on Friday and Saturday the 12th and 13th. We are going to have, and the Viking Club is going to be on Wednesday the 10th of July. We are going to have the By Annie in-store here in Littleton, and that's going to be on Friday and Saturday the 19th and 20th. A Viking event making a Marrakesh pillow on Friday and Saturday the 26th and 27th. We are going to have a Serger Club Christmas in July Serger pillow with Elaine. That is so super cute. Show up for, this is it. This is the pillow. This is why we have camera assistants. So this is the pillow that she's going to be making. You can buy a kit. You can sign up for the class. It is virtual, and you're going to love this project. Oh, what else do we have? Oh my goodness. Then we have kids camp. So if you know any kids who would like to come to a 4-day learning event here in Littleton, give us a call and sign them up. It's $75 for all 4 days, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun too. Okay, so every day that we have live, we're going to keep going over all of these things that we're doing and give you more information. But that's kind of an overview of what July is going to look like. And okay, so I'm just going to head back over here, and then I'll turn the camera over to Shelly, and we will get started. Oh, I'm just looking at Shelly's big old bottle of water, and it makes me want to drink something like water.
Do you need me to grab yours
It's
before
okay.
you sit down?
No, it's fine. Okay, we're going to turn this around. Bloop, 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 bloop. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we go over, it's very weird for me to be talking about the Fab Five, because I usually don't work on this side of the camera on Friday. But this is our Fab Five for today. It is a cute little bundle with actually what could be described as 3 focal prints, because we've got this really cute
I love
one.
those scissors.
Aren't they cute?
I love them.
The ones that look like that in real life are really cute too. They're really cute. And then we've got this nice little plaid, and then this little guy. And really, you can mix and match these all very nicely. So you can, if you want to put those together, that'll go. If you wanted to put those together, I think that doesn't look too bad. This is good. Look at these together.
It's like shuffling a deck of cards.
I know. So I think Elaine did a great job putting these together today. So thanks, Elaine, for doing that before you left. She was here this morning getting prepped for her By Annie boot camp and was helping us out by choosing a Fab 5. So I appreciate that.
And Barb says your dress is very pretty.
Oh, thanks, Barb. I love this dress. Isn't it fun? It's fun. Okay. What do I want to do next? Now I'm going to announce the winner.
The winner.
We have a winner, and I am going to give away. You have no idea. This almost breaks my heart because I love this. But it is right before the 4th of July.
Right.
And
timely.
I would really love for the winner to be able to hang this in her door or wherever she would like. And I hope you really enjoy it. And this winner was chosen by Don.
Yes.
I just want to say thanks, Don. He refused to come on and sing Yankee Doodle Dandy.
We tried.
We
Believe
did.
me, we tried.
He's the one who knows all the words, and he would not come and sing. I was like, what if you're not on camera? He still wouldn't sing. But he chose Pam Timmerman. So, Pam, you won my lovely little flag, and I hope you enjoy it. Come and pick it up. Hopefully you'll have time to come and pick it up before the 4th of July so you can put it up.
We can maybe make arrangements here, Pam. Give me a call. And I have a question here. Is the flag pattern available?
Well, the flag pattern is free. If you go to 10 Sisters, I think it's 10sisters.com or it's 10sistershandicraft.com. And that's 10 like the number 10.
That's where I was going.
TEN Sisters Handicraft, HANDICRAFT.com. So they have this pattern for free, and you just need their fusible to be able to put that on.
Didn't you have a base fabric that you built it on, though? Like a...
Yeah, that's what it is.
They're
and
fusible.
if you guys want some, we can get it for you. No problem. Just let us know. So anyway, congrats, Pam.
Okay,
you
Donna,
win that.
yes, bear with me here. I'll spin around and show you the Fab 5 again. So, we had it stacked up. I'll just do it slowly here. I love those scissors. I love them.
I know.
And here it is all stacked up and tied nice and pretty.
Here it is. Looking lovely together.
Okay.
All right. I have a joke. Well, I have probably more than one joke, but let's see.
Oh, Nancy, you're double dipping.
I decided to do some Halloween jokes since we're going to be starting on the spooky sampler today. And so here's the first one. I got a little tiny laugh with it, so it might be okay. What do ghosts wear when their eyesight gets blurry?
Think about it, ladies. We should have an answer. I didn't, but you guys should be smarter than I.
Spookticles.
Spookticles.
Okay.
Bump, yeah.
Okay, this I love this. What's a ghoul's favorite drink?
Ghoul.
Anything with booze.
Booze, like boo.
Booze or
okay.
boo. Yeah, both.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how you spell it. Mm-hmm. Did we turn on the air?
I agree with you.
Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Okay. Oh my goodness. What is a mummy's favorite sandwich?
Oh, jeez. I don't... Bologna? Bologna?
That's a good one, though. A head cheese wrap.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Okay, last one, and I'm only going to say this one because I am like a 6-year-old boy whenever I'm telling jokes. What's in a ghost's nose?
Boogers.
That's right.
Oh, so I am apparently
I
a
like
6-year-old
boogers and
boy
fart jokes. I love them.
yeah.
Bring them on. Anyway, they're funny. All right, so those were the jokes, and this is one of the first blocks that we're going to make today. For the first week, Pammy Jane has this block, which is the Sawtooth Star.
Okay.
And then we also have the Sawtooth Star variation, which
Now,
we're going to do.
is this out of the book?
Okay, so Pammy Jane's pattern is traditionally pieced. I offered you guys my foundation paper piecing version if you purchased her book.
Pattern, yeah.
Right. So if you purchase her pattern and you would also like my pattern for free, after you pay for hers, then I was sending that to you guys. Now, I am a person who loves FPP, which is foundation paper piecing. I just am a much better FPPer than traditional piecer. And so that's how I try to do everything. I find patterns and I just write them in FPP so that I can actually have something that looks like this instead of all wonky and stuff, because I'm just not a great piecer. So anyway, I got this one done so far, and while you are here with us today, I am going to finish one of the Sawtooth Star variations, and in doing that, I'm also going to show you how to put that together. So I am going to be FPPing.
Okay, and before you go on, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. We did have a question earlier as to whether we still had kits.
No, we do not.
And am I remembering correctly, we can't even substitute because we're out of the substitutes. So
yeah. I mean, we had a problem getting the fabric that we wanted to get, so I had to substitute, and then I was substituting the substitutes, and we're at a point now where there's just no substitution. We just don't have it available. So unfortunately, you can still get pattern books from us, and I did put that on the sale today, but we can't do a fabric bundle. We can't do the and that's why we don't have fabric kits anymore. We don't have the fabric kits anymore. That's why I was kind of trying to get pre-orders as we came up to it, so that we would, be able to get enough for everybody. And so everybody who did pre-order got their fabric kit. So if you pre-ordered, you should have it, or you should at least have gotten a call that it is available for you to come and pick up. So those all got filled. It's just, if you want one now, you'll have to go and get fabric elsewhere.
Okay, and I've got a couple of questions here.
Okay.
First of all, Karen Martin, travel safely. Jolie is asking, do you need a special program to make patterns into FPP? And Linda Coberly is asking what software you use. So
okay. Sure, I'd be happy to talk about that. I write my patterns initially in EQ8, which is Electric Quilt 8. And then I take those patterns, I bring them into a PDF form, and then I pull it into Illustrator and finish all my patterns that way. So that's how I write my patterns.
Okay, and then a question, and I thought we had one here, but I don't see it.
Okay.
What pattern book?
Oh, well, look. Show the little flag for a second. I'll go run and get it. I'll be right back.
Well, and I'll try and answer some questions too. Linda, I'm not sure. Does that apply if we already ordered? Does what apply? If you're asking if she'll change it into FPP, as long as you can prove to us that you have purchased the pattern, yes, she will change it to FPP. Okay, here's the pattern.
This is the pattern.
Spooky Sampler.
Spooky Sampler. It's a pattern by Pammy Jane. Is it too close?
Hold still. No, I got a glare that I'm trying to get off of. There we go.
I can pull it out of here if you think that helps.
Pammy Jane, I think I got it.
Okay.
We just needed to move in sync because it wasn't working. Okay.
All right. So if you would like my FPP, just to let you know, I wrote it exactly. Mine will finish exactly like hers does. Okay. I didn't change anything or nothing. I wrote it exactly to her specifications. So, yes, if you can show proof of purchase of this, naturally, we would like for you to buy it from us. But if you have proof of purchase of getting it elsewhere, I don't mind sharing my pattern with you. Just send me an email or leave a message down here and I can give you a call or something like that. Okay?
Okay, Linda, and I'm going to back up here. I see you've answered fabric kit. So does what apply if you've already pre-ordered the fabric kit? I may have missed something, Linda, if you can help me out because I'm not totally getting what you're asking. Maybe somebody who's watching understands it better than I.
Okay. So unfortunately, with the limited amount of time that we have in doing our live stream, I'm not going to be able to teach you how to foundation paper piece while we're here. However, I will do the best I can to give you all of the tips and tricks of things that I do to make my quilt making easier. Okay, so once you cut out all of your templates. All right. Well, and then here's what I'll do is I will, for the people who have a fabric kit, if I had to make substitutions to the substitutions, I did call you and ask you if you were okay with that. And those of you who still got the kit said you were okay with that. I'll be honest with you, I can't even remember what substitutes went with what substitutes. So you might have to just like look at everything and try to, kind of figure it out. I tried to get something that was going to look as close to what we were putting in as possible. Okay. So, today we are doing, like I said, the Sawtooth Star and the Sawtooth Star variation. Now they're in my pattern and also my pattern will have certain things that her pattern won't, only because there's certain things with FPP that are going to be done differently than hers. But if you follow along in my pattern, you'll still be able to finish everything in the same time that she would.
And a question here, will you be doing the FPP for each block?
Yes.
She did write the pattern. Are you going to do each block on live?
I am going to really try to have at least a finished block on all the lives. I'm going to try. These two blocks here are very similar to each other. Okay, so it's basically this block here, which is in different colors. Okay, so these four.
Oh, those are all the same?
It's the same block. It's just different fabric.
Okay, there we go.
And then these down here are the star block. The Sawtooth Star variation. So they are pretty similar and they go together in a similar way. So I'm going to show you that. Okay.
Okay. Janice, I see your comment and hopefully who's ever writing our comments down in Thornton is catching that as well. Lori has a kit that's possibly available and it is taken. So,
okay. All right. So whenever you, in my pattern, I had the Sawtooth Star and it told you to print out, let me see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pages. So you'll have 14 of the Sawtooth Stars and then it'll tell you the breakdown of fabric on each one and how many to make of each breakdown of fabric. Okay, and all of these letters inside correspond to the fabric requirement page that you'll have from me as well. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is the original fabric that we were supposed to get, and as we go along, I'm going to show you which fabric is the substitute so that you know.
Good.
Okay. All right. So in this first one that we did, And I made these right here.
Lynn, that is correct. There is no additional kit available.
That is correct. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. So this fabric, the fabric B, was substituted to this black fabric with like little signs on it, for lack of a better term.
Fabric B in this diagram,
Yep,
was substituted to be, let us carve out good times. It's really cute. The bigger piece is really cute.
Here's the bigger piece of it that I'm using. Okay, so if you see this,
and no, ladies, this is not available. This is Yvette's fabric for
making this quilt.
For making her quilt.
Yeah, so this is mine to actually do it with you guys. So, so this is now your fabric B. Okay, so if you look on your pattern, this is what I'm using for fabric B. Okay, this is what I'm using for fabric D, like dog.
Okay, and we have, so B and D in the Sawtooth Star have been substituted.
They're all substituted, honey.
Okay.
Every single one is substituted. So
all right,
this is what you'll use for D. Okay? This is what you're going to use for J.
Okay.
All right?
I really like these.
This is what you're going to use for F. All right? This is what you are going to use for I.
Cindy, I'll answer you here in just a second.
This is the only one that will not change. This is your H fabric. H is the same as what's on the original.
Okay.
It's the only one that we were able to get, okay? The letter K, the fabric K, we are not using at all. I will show you how it will be substituted in, and we'll be talking about this as we go. You will not have K fabric, and you will not have Q fabric, okay?
Okay, time out.
Okay.
Cindy, as long as you have purchased the spooky sampler pattern, and we can see proof of purchase, then we can get you Yvette's paper piece. Do you email that?
Yep.
Okay, and she can email that.
So just let me know, and I can email it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Whose fabric line is that? I'm assuming you're answering.
Well, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, because we had to do a variety of stuff.
Right. This was a very popular class.
We were originally going to use Bootiful, Bootiful, by Dear Stella, designed by Pammy Jane. But we weren't able to get it.
The pattern designer, okay.
Well, yes, she designed the fabric as well.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what we were going to use, and this one is the only one we were able to get. So this is from Bootiful by Dear Stella, designed by Pammy Jane. Everything else, honestly, is a mishmash. So these are called The Watcher. It was designed by Libs Elliott, and it was printed back in, I think, 2020 or 2021. You might be able to find it somewhere, but good luck.
I have a question. Not. Are they able to order some of the skull fabrics? Or is this all for your quilt?
They can probably order some of that, but you're going to have to get in touch with us here at the store. Give us a call here in Littleton, and we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's possible. That's the only one that we actually have more of. So maybe we can do some of that. Sure. Just give us a call, and we'll work out something. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, you will have received the FPP pattern from me. You can reply to that, ask me any questions. I'll do my best to answer all of them. I do work here full time and work at my house full time, so I will do the best I can. But we better get started because it's already 2:26 and I want to get you guys seeing some of this. The first thing that I would say, once you have cut out all of your templates, I would go through.
Because I'm sure Dawn didn't hear
Okay.
that. I'll be right back.
I'm going to turn this around and then turn this around. Hi.
Be with you here in just a
Okay.
second.
So I'm gonna do my best to do this. The mat
Dawn,
move. Okay. Hopefully it's not.
There's
going
somebody
anywhere.
out front.
So here's what I do: is I
He'll be
take
with
my
you in
pattern,
just a second.
my template, and I will write on it what fabric goes where. And the reason I do that is just so that whenever it's in hand, it's better.
I'm back.
It's better to know what you're doing. This is driving.
It's just the two of us today,
crazy.
so
So that's what I do, is I label it. That way, when I take it over and I'm ready to start sewing, I've already got, like, I wrote pink and I wrote fig because I know that it's fig tree fabric. So, but however it is that you're going to remember what it was, just put something short right there. That'll just kind of ring, a bell in your head going, oh, that's what goes placed there. Okay. So that's how I prep my papers. Now let's just head over and start sewing, and I'll give you those tips as well.
And Dolly, I can show you here in just a second what it is we're making today, if I can reach it without falling over.
This is one of them. We're making 2 blocks. This is the sawtooth star block, and then we have a sawtooth star variation, which I have started here, and I'm going to sew the last piece with you to show you a little bit about FPP.
Okay.
All right, so this is the piece that I'm going to be sewing that fits right there. Okay. Now what you want to do, I've already cut my fabrics, so I just kind of either eyeball it, or you can do a little bit measurement on here. You want to make sure that your piece is at least a 1/4 inch larger all the way around, because that's your seam allowance.
Right.
So you want to leave at least a 1/4 inch. If you're just starting in FPP, I would give yourself at least 1/2 inch. Just give yourself some grace. You might have to waste a little bit of fabric in the beginning, but it is so worth it. Okay, the numbers here tell you which order you want to sew your fabric to your paper. Okay,
And that's very important.
yes, it is very important that you sew it in the correct order. Otherwise, you won't be able to do FPP. It's all about the order whenever you're sewing FPP. So this first piece is a piece of fig tree, and I have that cut right here. So I'm going to take this piece of fabric, and as you know, fabric has a right side and a wrong side. When you have a template, this is your wrong side, and this is your right side. Okay, so when you are finished sewing this piece, you're going to have a wrong side and you're going to have a right side. As you can see, the right side is finished and all of your fabric is pointing in the correct direction. So that's what I mean by right side, wrong side. Okay, so you're going to put your fabric on the other side of your template. All right. So when you're holding your template up, your very first piece is going to be moved to the back of the template with the pretty side facing away from you, because that's the only piece that you are not going to move whenever you're pressing. It's going to stay as it is from now till the end of time. Okay, so you're not going to be doing anything with it. So I'm going to move it pretty side facing away from me, right to the back of the template, and I'm going to make sure that I am covering this entire number 1 piece with at least a 1/4 inch around each side. Now, you can either...
the point.
Including everything, and your seam allowance. Okay, so this seam allowance, that you need to cover all of that. right? Because that's going to be where you're putting all of your blocks together. You can either use a bright light, you can use sunlight, you can use a light box, you can do whatever you'd like. You can hold this up and see behind where your fabric is. So that's all you have to do, is to place that first piece. Now I'm going to take a pink piece of fabric and I'm going to put it behind, I'm going to place it for number 2, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing is, when I cut this, I cut it to be able to do lots of different pieces. And for this particular one, I can cut it in half, and I'll have plenty. So I'm just going to cut that in half. All right.
And all the cutting instructions are in the pattern book.
No, you need to know how to do FPP.
No, I mean for
the
base,
traditional piecing?
For
Yes.
your base pieces here.
Instructions for FPP. But if it's your first time, I would cut pieces of fabric a little bit bigger to give yourself some grace as you learn, okay? But traditionally with FPP, you are not given cutting instructions. It is just not done.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so now I'm going to be placing piece number 2. Whichever piece you are placing next, you want to put it to the top of your template. So if I were going to be piecing number 3, I would turn it like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But I'm piecing number 2, so I'm going to put it to the top, right? And then I'm going to take my piece of fabric, I'm going to hold it pretty side facing me, I'm going to move it to the back of the template, and I'm going to make sure that it hangs down and is above the line I'm going to sew on by 1/4 inch. And I can see that back there. I don't know if you can on the
yeah,
camera.
we can see a little bit the shadow of it back there.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that's all you need. You can, like I said, you can use daylight, you can use a light box, you can use any sort of bright light that you can hold this up in front of to see where that line is. Now, I already can hear those of you guys who already know how to FPP. Let me just say, there is more than one way to foundation paper piece. If you do it some other way, it's really not necessary for you to come on and tell me that there's another way to do it. I know there's another way to do it. This is the way I choose to do it. So I'm going to show you my way, and you can pick it up this way and then go and find all the other different ways to do it and decide what's best for you. Okay?
That's the beauty of our craft.
That's
There's
right.
more than one way to do everything.
And you are free to do it any way you please, okay? This is your project. But if you're learning, I'm just going to show you my way, and you can move on from there, okay?
Connie, FPP stands for Foundation Paper Piecing.
Yes. Okay. Now, setting up your sewing machine for FPP. The most important thing to me, these are the things I do. I like to make sure I have an open toe foot, okay, so I can see everything that's going on. Like if I slide this under here, you can see that open space. I know exactly where my needle is going down. There is nothing to hinder my view. I can see every single thing. So I use an open toe foot. I use a 70-10 or 75-11 needle.
Oh, a fine needle. Okay.
Yes. I personally use an 80 weight thread. Okay, I use an 80 weight thread because it is quite thin, and it will reduce bulk whenever you are sewing FPP. You tend to have a lot of thread buildup with FPP, and so the more you can do to reduce the bulk in your piece, the better. I also I make sure that my needle is straight up and down in the middle. So I did change this this needle position to number 3.
Which on your baby lock is your default.
Right? Well, no. Actually, this one, it defaulted to the left.
Must be programmed different.
Well, I don't know. When you turn this machine off and back on again, it brings you to stitch number 1, and that stitch was to the left. So I changed it to number 3 so that my needle was straight up and down in the middle. I also reduced my stitch length to 1 millimeter. I'm using regular copy paper. With regular copy paper, I find that if you bring it down to 1 millimeter, you are going to find that your paper is perforated so that it will tear easily.
Perfectly, yeah.
Okay? If you are using newsprint, I would not go down to 1 millimeter because it's just going to fall apart. You can probably take it down to like 1.8 or 1.6 and you'll be just fine. So it depends on the paper you're using. Practice. Okay?
Is your bobbin thread the same as your top thread?
Yes, but let me tell you something. Here's the thing. When you are doing this piecing, remember that this is in the middle. The only thing I would take into consideration is that when you have a dark fabric, you might want to make sure you have a darker thread. That way you don't see the white come through. If you have white fabric, then you might want to use a white thread so that the black won't come through. Does that make sense? Other than that, you won't see it. So I tend to use a very neutral gray for everything because gray, which I use a color called Dove. If you use Orfil, Dove is the name. But anything that's sort of like this, or if you know what Dove looks like, that sort of color will blend very well with both light and dark fabrics. Okay? So that's what I use, especially because this is Halloween. I have white, I have black. I don't want to have to keep changing it, so I use a very neutral gray.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm just going to lower my needle, and I start a little bit outside.
I'll get closer here in a minute, ladies. I can't zoom in like Yvette can, so I have to invade her space. Okay.
All right, and then I'm just going to lower my foot, and then I'm going to stitch, and I'm going to stop right at that point. Now, with a 1 millimeter stitch, there's no way you can definitely get right there and not a problem. Okay, so I'm just going to stitch down. Now, at the beginning here, you can do a locking stitch if you want to, a back stitch. You don't really need to, but when I come down here.
Oh, that open toe is great.
Right? Because that stitch is landlocked, I will do a back stitch.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay? However, your thread, your stitch length is so short that at the beginning part, I don't really think you need to. Your stitches are not going to just come out. Do you know what I mean? But I do tend to do it when it's landlocked. All right.
She was asking about the weight of her bobbin, your bobbin thread.
Oh, typically when I'm sewing at home, I will use 100 weight, which is Wonderfil Decobob, or is it Invisifil? No, I think it is Decobob. Maybe it's Decobob that I put up top here. Oh my goodness, I should have prepared for this question. But whatever the 100 weight is, that's what I put in my bobbin, and I can usually get pre-wound. So I'll get pre-wound 100 weight for the bobbin and 80 weight for the top thread.
That's real fine.
Okay. And also the 100 weight tends to be at least a polyester blend, which is good because it is very strong. Okay. All right. So once you have that piece sewn on, I'm now going to come over here.
And both of those pieces are on the back of your pattern.
That is correct. All right. So that's what the first piece looks like. And now I'm just going to come on over. If you are right-handed, you're going to want your number 2 or whichever piece you just sewed on to be on the right side. Okay? If you are left-handed, well, and you cut with your left hand, you'll want to turn it so that your 2 is on the left side. Okay? I'm right-handed, so I'm going to move it back. And then this line that you just sewed on, you're going to fold it back right there. Okay, and it's going to fold very easily because you just sewed a 1 millimeter, it's going to fold over quite easily. You're going to take your add a quarter ruler. If you don't have an add a quarter ruler, that's okay. It's just, this will help because there's a little lip on here that butts right up against your seam and it won't move. And that way you can cut that 1/4 inch perfectly. Okay, but if you don't have one, you can take a regular ruler and just on the 1/4 line, you want to just lay it right on your seam. And of course, with all the light. All right. And just hold it nice and do your trim. And that's before you move any of your fabric. All you're doing is folding over the paper, making the cut,
Folding right on your stitch line.
That's it, right on the stitch line. And of course I didn't turn that on. Just scooch that up. You're going to unfold your paper, turn it over, do a nice little press to close your little holes that you made from your needle, and then you're just going to fold it back, press it down. Of course I didn't have it on, so it's probably a little chilly. And then I'm going to take my magic juice and I'll put that right on the seam. You don't need a lot, just put a little bit on there. And then I repress it so that it's flat as a pancake. All right, and that's my first piece. So now I'm going to take this, and now I'm going to go and add piece number 3. Okay, so I'm going to take my fabric, I'm going to turn it pretty side facing me. I'm going to move it right to the back of the template. Number 3 is pointing to the top. I am going to make sure.
Can you see that shadow?
You can see it back there. I just want the top of the fabric to be 1/4 of an inch over the line I'm going to sew on, because that's my seam allowance right there. So I want to leave that in there. And I also want to make sure that it's extending at least 1/4 of an inch past this line right there, that little point, and 1/4 of an inch past this point. Now you can always just pull it back and look. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's 1/4 of an inch past. Everything looks great. So now I'm just going to hold that in place until I get it down. And I'm actually going to use my open toe foot to get my needle right down on that exact point. Okay? And I can see just where it's going. So boom, I'm right there. And the line is going straight down the middle of the foot. So you're good. Right? So I just lower my foot, lower my needle, and I'm going to do a locking stitch because that little one is landlocked. And then I'm just going to sew down. I just sew right off the edge. It's okay. I'm going to cut my thread. And I always clean mine up as I go.
I have to clean off.
Yeah, I can't.
Thread tails
It drives
too.
me nuts not to. So, okay, so now I'm going to take this over. I have not touched the fabric at all. I'm just going to lay my template down with number 3 on the right side, because that's the fabric I just added. Not touching the fabric, I'm just going to fold my template over on that line. I'm going to lay down my add 1/4 ruler and trim.
Through both the white and the pink.
Everything, yep. Whatever is laying right there. And now I'm going to open it back up. I'm going to lay it down, close up those holes, fold it over, press, put a little bit of magic juice on there, and then press. Now listen, many people will tell you you can just use one of those rollers and not press between. That is totally a personal decision. I like every seam I have to be flat as a pancake. That's an Yvette choice, okay? So if you just want to use a roller, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I like perfectly flat seams. It's personal choice. So if that's what you like, get yourself some magic juice, okay? All right, so now I'm going to put this last piece on, and it's a piece of fig tree. So I'm going to grab this fabric, maybe. Okay, now I'm going to hold it pretty side facing me. I'm going to turn number 4 to the top. I'm going to take the fabric, I'm going to move it to the back of the template, and I'm going to make sure it is 1/4 of an inch above that line I'm going to sew on.
That bottom line.
And it's hanging down. Okay, so it's hanging down,
See it?
and the seam is right here. And you can just kind of fold it back and look at it, and you can see. All right? And now I'm just going to sew that line straight up and down.
I found in the limited amount of paper piecing I have done The first one or two fabrics that I placed were the most confusing to me, and then after that, it got much simpler.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It took me probably a good year or year and a half, because I taught myself how to do it, before I would actually be able to get all of the fabrics facing the correct way every time. And if I took too big of a break, I'd come back and I would start placing things all in the wrong place. So if that happens to you, give yourself a little grace.
Yes.
It is not just you. It just takes a little while for your head to kind of wrap itself around what exactly you're doing. And at this point, you know, with designing and everything else, I still will make a mistake. I mean, honestly, there are sometimes if I'm not completely concentrating on what I'm doing, I'll sew a piece on backwards. So if it
Yes.
happens to you, it is not you. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean you can't do this. It doesn't mean, that's the other thing. If you don't like FPP, that's all right.
Karen, oh my.
That's okay. It's all right. It's no big deal. But think about when you like to do something, like let's say you really love baking cookies, right? If somebody came to your house or you started talking about how you were baking cookies and they were like, oh, I hate baking cookies. It's just baking cookies is the worst thing. I would never bake cookies. I just go to the store. I would just buy cookies, you know, but how would that make you feel? So just try to remember that whenever you're talking to somebody who does FPP and loves it to death, just be a little sensitive to that, because
Yep,
I can't
absolutely.
tell you how many times people will do that in front of me, and I understand, because there are a lot of times when applique is just not for me. I will do applique, and there's a lot of things about applique that I do like now, but it's not always been my cup of tea, and you know, so I understand not liking some things. That's okay. That's not a big deal, but you don't have to be so kind of pushy about
Yes.
it, maybe. Yeah, just a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to just press that. I am going to fold it over. I'm going to press it again. I'm going to put a little bit of magic juice on that. And it doesn't matter which side you put the magic juice on, just to let you know, it's not going to stain your fabric. I've never had any problems with it whatsoever.
Lynn also says here, learning something new is just that, learning. Give yourself some grace and be kind to your teacher.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so once you have all your pieces sewn on, it looks like a hot mess, okay? But now you're ready to trim.
Yes.
So I'm going to turn it over. And that's the other thing. When I cut my template out, I always leave a little lanyard on the side. That way I get to clean up all of my edges no matter what, okay? So I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to find my 1/4 inch part. Unfortunately, the 1/4 inch ruler won't help you with this, okay? Because you're not hitting a lip. You're actually trying to cut on the
on the
that
line
1/4
itself.
inch. Yeah, so you want to leave that 1/4 inch. So I'm putting the 1/4 inch line right on the 1/4 inch line, so to speak. And then I'm just going to trim the excess. You should have a little piece of paper. See, a little piece of paper that came off too, right? So you want to just cut that, trim it back.
I'm supposed to tell Yvette I'm Lynn Geldmeyer. She
Oh,
knows me.
Lynn! Hi, Lynn! Oh, I love Lynn. Lynn has been in my life for many, many years, and she is a sweetheart. And she has sent me the most beautiful things that she's made on her Solaris. And that was before I even knew what a Solaris was, I'll be honest. She makes some gorgeous things. Alrighty. And there we go. All right, so now I have all my pieces over here, right? So I've got, this is how they lay out. And there is an order in whenever you're putting all your pieces together as well. And you will have the instructions at the back, at the very end of the pattern that I wrote that tells you which order to put them together, okay? So I'm going to attach first F to G. Now, it's just like with anything else. You want your fabrics to be right sides together. So I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put them right sides together, just like this. And I'm going to make sure that this is all lined up. And I just use my fingers. I just feel it. I can feel where they are going to line up. All right? And I'm going to take a couple of Wonder Clips. And I use Wonder Clips just so that it just won't move. That's all. Just so I don't have to worry about it. And you leave your papers on. People, leave your papers on for as long as possible. Okay? Don't be so concerned with taking the papers out. They are going to help you. They're going to be your friend because that's your 1/4 inch seam. Then you don't have to worry about, oh, did I get it a 1/4 inch? You don't have to think. It's done. It's right there.
Right there.
That's
Yeah.
right. Now, what you can do is to test to make sure, because like, let's say you're doing a corner, okay? I will take a pin, all right? And I'm just going to poke it right in the middle. So you can see, I'm just putting it right there at the very corner. Boop. Right? And when I turn it around, look.
Right at the corner of the other one.
It's
Very
right
good.
where it's supposed to be. So that's how you're going to test to make sure that your seams are lining up. Okay? You'll just use that, that test there. Now, I'm just going to sew.
Okay, Linda Day says she just found that cute button. I don't know what cute button she's talking about. Do you?
A cute button.
It's a mystery, Linda.
All right, and you're going to sew all the way across. Okay, so you can see I'm not at that point in the middle. I'm sewing all the way across because I'm joining my fabrics. Okay, and I do a locking stitch on this. Okay, now I'm going to take one out and I'm just going to sew all the way down that line.
Where I can
Sorry.
get so I don't get in her way.
You're okay. I'll try to work around you.
The ha-ha button. Okay.
And then I'm going to do a locking stitch. All right. Now, just going to trim up a little bit. Okay. This is the only time you're going to remove paper. Inside the seam, I'm going to take that paper out. Because if you don't take it out now, it's going to get locked in there. And then you won't ever get it out. Okay? So that's the only paper I'm taking out. All right. Now, I always press my seams open with FPP for whenever you're putting things together. Again, I'm reducing bulk. If you took all of those layers of fabric and were like moving them one way or another.
One side or another.
Yeah. So I go ahead and I do it open. Just lay it right across my pressing stick. I just give it an initial press, and then I take my magic juice. I put it right down that seam. Just a tiny little bit.
I think we might need to have magic juice by the gallon.
I do at my house. You have no idea. Once I get it to kind of open a little bit, then I lay it down and give it a nice good press. All right. You can see that's flat as a little pancake. And then you're going to have these on either side. So it doesn't really matter which one, but I usually will go to the top first. That's just what I do. So now I'm going to pick them up, right sides together. And now right here, I can see where that fabric is. And I can kind of just eyeball it, you know. But I just kind of get that on there. Let me get some of these clips.
Comfort level comes with experience because I'd be sticking a pin in the middle of that seam to make sure it was lined up right.
Oh, I'm about to do that. Don't worry. I'm going to do that. Okay. So then I'm just going to, there's not really a place on here where you're matching up a seam, except maybe right there. So we can test that one.
Oh, I thought there were seams matching. My bad.
Not all of them. All right. There you go.
Yep, there.
Right?
Right angle. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to just sew that down.
She's going to have a black and blue mark on her arm because I keep stabbing her with my
Well,
fingernail.
that's okay. On the other side, I got the one where I have to carry all the sewing machines. So,
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to do a locking stitch. You just sew right on the line.
That is the beauty of the paper piecing. It does give you a line to sew directly on.
Yep.
Okay, Lynn says, what happens if it doesn't line up? How would you adjust it?
You could just, you'll know whether you need to move one side or the other, up or down. And sometimes, you know, none of us are perfect. So there may be a situation where you could possibly move something a little bit this way or that way, and it's not even going to make a difference anyway because maybe you sewed sideways or whatever. There's all kinds of things that we as humans can make mistakes at. So sometimes you just have to make a judgment call. Like, is that okay with me?
And how crazy
Am I
do you
good?
want to
Yeah,
get?
exactly. Most of the time, I just leave things. I'll be honest, because I'm just one of those people that I accept imperfections. But I know as quilters, we don't always do that.
Yes.
I understand. So I just use it as I make a judgment call. Do I want to do that? Do I want to move it? I mean, at that point, all you have is a wonder clip. So you can just take the wonder clips off, adjust things,
shift it around a little
and then
bit.
check it again and see if it's where you want. Okay, so now I'm just going to tear these papers out that are in the seam, just those.
And that is true, Lynn. She says, sometimes if you fuss with things too much, you make it worse.
That's right. That's true. Is that still Lynn Geldmeyer?
Yes, it is.
I love you, girly. Sometimes we sit and have like little chats on Facebook, but sometimes it's like you realize it's been so long since you've talked to somebody and you feel terrible. I always feel terrible. She tells me not to, but I always do because I'm always so wrapped up in my life, you know? Like sometimes you just
Sometimes
get
you just need
upset
to
about
take a
that.
break and
I know. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay this down and open that seam again.
she says, back at you.
Thank you. You know, the oldest friends are the best. And I made all these friends on Facebook, on YouTube, actually. And I just thank God for them every day. I really do. The people who stick with you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's a blessing. It really is. All right, so now I'm going to press that down.
This is the first time I've heard of pressing it down to close the hole.
Oh, really? You've never heard Jenny Doan talk about that? It's a Jenny Doan thing. Oh, okay. Well, that's why you haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Apparently it's because, you know, like whenever you're sewing and you're perforating all those holes in your fabric, whenever you apply heat to it for just a tad, it closes up that. It just
Now, I would have
makes
thought steam, but
Well.
yeah, so.
Some people use steam. I just don't. You know, I'm allergic to steam. Actually, I'm just allergic
vegetables.
well, definitely allergic to vegetables. But I'm allergic to water in my iron. It's not that I don't like steam. If I want some kind of steam, I will spray water on my project, and then iron it. I just don't like water in my iron. I feel like it ruins it. That's just me. You do you, boo.
Thanks.
You want to put water in your
I put
iron?
water in my
Go
iron.
for it, dude. Yeah. Just go for it. Yeah, I don't judge nobody. I can tell you what. Maybe I'm going to find out after I die and go to heaven that I was supposed to be putting water in my iron the whole time.
Because I'm sure that is going to be one of the very first things they talk to you about.
Absolutely, right? I'm sorry, you're not allowed in here because you were supposed to put water in your iron. Don't tell me that. Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't it be frightening to
That would be pretty frightening if
yeah.
that's what I was judged on. I'd be in trouble. Okay, so now your H is on the bottom, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pull them up, right sides together, and I'm going to make sure all three sides are like nice and
says
flush.
St. Peter wants to know.
I bet he does. I bet he does. I wonder if he's a quilter. He might be.
I'll bet he's good at it if he is. Because,
That's right.
you know, in heaven everything is perfect.
Now see, I'm looking over here and it looks to me like that back piece is like sticking out a little bit. So let's do a little measurement, see what it really looks like, and if I'm losing my mind or what. Now, yes, I could test here, sure, but I want to test over here. I'm going to just see, am I losing my mind, or is that where I want it to be?
She
And
does.
look, it looks
it's
fine.
Perfect. Yeah.
It looks fine, so I'm just going to leave it.
Sherry, she does use the Laura Star, but she doesn't have it set to steam.
Well, I only will put steam on every once in a while, because if you don't push the little buttons, there's no steam. But that's a little bit different though, because the water is not in the iron.
She's
the water
right.
is coming, you know what I mean?
It's coming from
It's not
the tank
same. It's
in
not
a
the
hose.
same.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so now I'm just going to, once again, lower my needle right where I want it. And I'm going to do a set stitch. And one more. All right. Clean it up a little bit. I'm going to take the papers out of the seam.
Janice says she's going to send you some red clips.
I'm
sure if we walked around, there is a whole container full of nothing but red clips.
That is correct.
Somewhere.
That's where I keep them. I keep them elsewhere. That's what I do.
I don't remember what live I was watching, but everything they pinned, and it wasn't from in here. But
Was it with the red?
Was nothing but red clips, and so
gosh.
it just made me
See,
laugh.
somebody likes red.
Yeah.
Obviously. Should send all the red ones to them. Okay, and then I'm going to, once again, press this open.
I will say that whoever invented the clips, no matter what color they were, was a genius.
Right? Oh my gosh. Like, there are some times when you really do need to use a pen. I mean, you do.
Agree.
There's not, you know, it's not like you're never going to use them again. But those Wonder Clips, man, so easy to go on and come off. They don't poke you.
And I have to tell you, they are an absolute necessity in the kids' classes and kids' camp. Much
better.
Many fewer tears and...
Yeah, there's less blood.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't use this fabric anymore. It's got a stain on it.
It's
Hello,
all
Miss
full
Pam.
of blood. That's funny.
And Miss Tam, I didn't see you earlier, but in case you weren't listening...
Oh, is that Pam Timberman?
Yes, your name was chosen as our winner.
Woo! Yay, Pam!
And after live, we can chat. Bloody fabric. Perfect for Halloween.
Perfect, right?
Says your friend Lynn. Miss Michelle, you are always so nice.
So there's the back. This is the wrong side of your piece. And there's the right side.
Perfect.
And look at that. Look, oh my gosh. Like, if I were making a traditional block, I guarantee you that an Yvette block would not look like this. Never.
It's perfect.
It would never look like this. So that's this. This is the Sawtooth Star block. And this is the Sawtooth Star variation block. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna start just cranking them out as fast as I can. Hopefully the next class, which I'm not sure when I'm gonna do it. I am going on vacation Next Wednesday, I'm going home to see my family, and then I will be flying back the following Wednesday. And so maybe that week I'll be having a live. It depends, because since Elaine is going to have to do Tuesday, then I'll probably do Friday. And if so, that means that on July, let me see, okay.
Okay,
third,
this is
fourth,
going to be
five.
hard without a calendar in front of you.
So that'll be on the 12th. I might be doing the next one on the 12th, which is not next Friday, but the one after that. And it's going to depend on the calendar and who's doing what, but typically it'll be about another week and a half, 2 weeks. Be 2 weeks before I'm doing it.
You're
again.
getting lots of have fun, be safe.
Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah, so we are going to approximately be doing a spooky sampler block every other week. Okay, so that'll give you time to see how to do one, and typically there's more than one of things depending on which block it is. And so that'll give you plenty of time to finish up and then ready for the next block. Okay? So, okay.
And ladies, there's no shame in watching her placement video more than once. I would rather
Absolutely.
watch the video than have to tear it out. And I would absolutely have to watch the way she did that. Which one goes face up, which one goes face down.
Sure.
Have to watch it more than once.
And if you're nervous, do a basting stitch first. So just bring it out to a 5mm stitch and then stitch across the line, open it up, see where everything is, and if it looks right, you don't even really have to pull that thread out. Although at 5mm, it's easy. It'll just pull right out. And then just sew right over it again with 1mm. That's how I tell people to do it whenever I'm teaching. So no shame in doing that either.
Initially, on my first couple of placements, I did pin placement. And then I flipped it over and flipped my fabrics over to make sure that I had it going.
And that you covered the whole
that I covered the whole
piece
thing, and that it wasn't upside down and blah, blah. And
Yep.
hello, Nancy.
And also, a really great thing is that you can totally fussy cut when doing FPP, but I would hold off on it.
I agree with
for
that
a little
1,000%.
And also, another thing is you can always get batiks and do your FPP, because then it's also not going to matter whether it's one way or the other, because they are pretty much the same both sides. So that's the other thing. It's another little tip. So, yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to spin around here and show our fabric bundle again. So here's our Fab 5. That Elaine, and these do mix and match really, really well. Here's our two completed pieces. And if you want to slide the prize over here to me.
Oh, right. So
Pam
Pam
just got
can
on.
see what she's got.
And so here's what you won, Miss Pam.
Yay!
And Lynn says, thanks for a great afternoon.
You're very welcome.
Okay. And
all right. Bye, you guys. Have a great 4th. And I'll see you guys. I might be doing Tuesday. So, hey, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you next
all right.
week. Bye.
Bye, you guys.